10 seconds to
10
tell the real from fucking bullshit. From
Yeah.
Especially when you can't trace it. It comes out of nowhere. Like, you're just out of nowhere. You're like, oh, Bugatti at 20. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's normal. Like,
Where did it come
I
from?
worked 30 years for that shit. You worked 5 hours.
normal.
Makes sense. Yeah, that's how it works.
Unless there's like a legitimate rich
Right,
family.
and you can see it, and you're like, oh, okay, your dad's a billionaire. I got it. It gave you
But
this.
that's usually the fake story they always give.
exactly.
Oh, yeah, oil money from Russia or some bullshit.
A Russian oligarch is my uncle.
Yeah. I've seen
No
that
one's
happen.
heard of you. Suddenly, you're now,
But you're Cuban.
super rich.
Russian
Yeah,
oligarch
Russia.
as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Russian go.
Always like outlandish stories.
Revonomics 32.
What the fuck is wrong with you people? What the fuck are you playing anime music?
We got some sounds today for you.
You guys are so fucking gay. I don't understand.
There we go.
So fucking gay.
Quick, where's that from?
Evangelion.
There we
That's
go.
very cute.
I knew it was your favorite,
Oh my
so I
God.
did it for
Super
you.
gay.
Gotcha.
Yeah, super gay. Unnecessary. Unfucking necessary. Yeah, okay. And he's got new sounds today. You know, everything seems to be new. You know, he's got his new sounds from Mexico. We got Evangelion, and somehow this one showed up looking different today. I don't know. You do something different to your hair? A little bit? Okay. It seems you did something to your tongue too. Okay. Oh, okay. Wow. Oh. Okay. Well, I don't know what this is, but it doesn't seem to
What
work.
did I walk
We have
into?
Rob Ferretti.
I should have researched this before I came
Yeah, you
down
probably
here.
should have done a little research. We have Rob Ferretti on
I
today.
know, the man, the legend, one of the original YouTubers. I mean, how long have you been on YouTube?
I predate YouTube.
I know. That's what I know. You've been on
So-
YouTube forever,
Older
like
than
since
YouTube.
before you even started.
Correct. Yeah, I used to use YouTube just to promote DVDs because YouTube you couldn't make money off of initially.
So what, like 20 plus years on YouTube?
Yeah, 2006.
Like when it
roughly
first,
when it first came out.
kind of came out,
Yep.
like crazy, right?
Yep.
You know that they did a study that recently showed that more kids today want to be content creators than doctors, lawyers, and then OnlyFans. I think last week we covered like OnlyFans was like the top ranked paid job in America or something like.
You
Content
know why?
creator.
It's easy money, and that's
Yeah,
why
of course,
people wanna do it.
everything's gotten easy. Yeah.
But it's not easy if you're not good at it.
Yeah,
but,
that's
but
true, yeah.
everybody makes it look so easy. So it's like, wow, it's so glamorous. And all I have to do, like an influencer, all I want to do is be a Kardashian. I have to just go enjoy my life and spend money. And that has a great appeal to a lot of people.
So I figured, you'd be the perfect person to have this conversation with because you've been on YouTube since the beginning. You've seen all facades of YouTube come and go.
Sure.
HTML YouTube.
Yeah, and I think that people are changing on YouTube. I think that what's getting people's attention is changing. I mean, YouTube's changed. It's way harder to reach people than
It's very algorithm
Right,
driven.
exactly.
And that's a problem. And you either are jumping on that algorithm or I decided to just do other businesses.
Yeah.
And it's a little bit more of a sound business model to just do YouTube for fun versus chasing YouTube algorithms. Because a lot of what sells on the internet is wasting money. So
Yeah,
if you're
correct, yeah.
doing YouTube as a living, but you're having to reinvest all of the money that's coming into the dumbest shit that has no value, all you're doing is keeping yourself afloat, but there's no substance there.
Right.
So you end up like your bell curve of YouTube
Yeah.
popularity goes down, and next thing you know, you're sitting on a junkyard full of crap that you built. A minivan with 16 turbos on it is worth nothing.
Right, yeah.
So, but you spent 40 grand to make,
make
your 40
that stuff for
grand,
the- yeah.
but you have $800 worth of parts.
So, there's this argument that I've always made that basically YouTube has turned the world, and not just YouTube, social media / YouTube, has turned the world into a bunch of circus monkeys for the entertainment of all others, but taking away the creativity of really like creating like what a creator is, right? Like someone who's like, I want to share my creation with the world. I want to create beautiful movies. I want to create beautiful like imagery, whatever. The most highest production stuff does not get the highest views. The best stuff, but a guy jumping off a building for no reason, knocking his head, gets like 300 million views with no click-through rate or really purpose or relevance. And somehow these idiots just all jump on this bandwagon of if I can become popular, I somehow become rich, which I thought was the disease in itself because you don't even know what you're being popular for, right? That's the other argument, right?
You're just trying to get people to look at you. And it's, I guess
And what's the purpose of that? What do you get out of that? Because if you think about it, you get fame for 5 minutes and then someone else does something equally stupid or dumber and you go, oh, that guy's the next guy.
Remember the big Vine influencers?
Yeah, yeah. Which,
Where
but
are
that's
they?
where. Well, of course, that's who they are,
Yeah.
right? Like that's the TikTok mind and the whole like, oh, just doing something stupid and
Something
getting
outrageous,
something. Yeah.
like waiting in line to get the first iPhone to smash it in front of everybody.
And they're
that's
trying
the-
to outdo each other every single video and every single angle. So like, where do you see this basically going in terms of like, if YouTube or if being a creator is the number one kind of like desirable job, right?
Yep.
Today, that means that we have an entire generation to deal with this, which means 20 years of this shit is going to be the idea. So what's next? Meaning, like, where do you see this changing or adopting, or how do we see the future of social media from your view?
Well, there's a big impact that you're just skipping over, which is AI now.
Mm-hmm.
And everything outrageous used to be like, oh my God, like you'd have to either stage it
Mm-hmm.
or and you look, oh, how'd that weirdo just pick up that
Mm-hmm.
chick randomly? And they're like, why is that chick's audio so good? And then you realize
Yeah.
she has a microphone on, and it's all
Fake.
fake. But you have to have like a production background to pick up on stuff like that. But now AI, you have no idea what's going on, so you can make outrageous stuff, and you see a lot of that in the algorithms. A lot of this stuff is everyone's like AI, but it's all got tremendous views because it's outrageous and it's replacing and producing quicker and easier than anyone can, and you don't have to spend the money to do it. So it's really it's interesting where that's going to go. The problem that we've had over the years is there's always, like, if you go back and watch any of my DVDs, you'll remember 10 moments from the entire 2 hours. Now, everything surrounding that 10 moments, nobody cares about. They've boiled down the attention span to 10 seconds, 15 seconds. So they just want to see that.
What's happening?
That
Not
hot
that they don't want
second,
they don't
yeah.
want the idea, the creativity, what leads to it, the story. They don't
no
care.
build up. The clip can end right after
Right,
that.
right.
Nobody. It's just
I think this is why cinema struggles now, because they build a storyline
Yep.
and people are like, where's a car blowing up? And you're like, this isn't this is not the
Everybody
idea.
wants
It's
Michael
not the
Bay.
trailer, right? Like the trailer's a different idea than the actual movie. And they're like, no. Like this is I want the end.
You know who capitalized on that the best was Sylvester Stallone in The Expendables.
It's all just shit blowing up every 2 seconds.
Everything blows up.
The
There's-
movie starts and you get more hair on your chest instantly. 'cause it's
Yeah,
just
I mean,
like-
it doesn't make any sense.
It's insanity.
When they brought Megan Fox, I was out.
Yeah, but
I
nobody
didn't-
cares about the storyline at that point in time. Everybody's just like, blow shit up. How'd they get there? Doesn't matter. Blow more shit up. Shoot people. And that's sort of what, and we've, as a culture, we've leaned into that and we've accepted that. And that's, everybody drives towards what makes money. And
So
what
how,
grabs the
right.
eyeballs.
So this is the argument I've always made. America is a giant capitalist mall, and basically everyone's trying to take their cut. And somehow we expect moral value to remain,
Never.
which doesn't exist. It's never
even in-
existed. It's just the illusion of it, right?
Even in
So-
media. Like
yeah,
in media, all they're trying to do is get you to click. And then
In
they put a
everything.
paywall.
Yeah,
Like, they're not
correct, yeah.
trying to transfer information
Correct,
to people and
yeah.
educate. They just want you to click, watch the ads, and then
So how does that impact creators who actually are creative? Because when Whistle Diesel or whatever the fuck his
Yeah,
name
yeah,
is
Whistling
came
Diesel.
into
Cody.
Whistling, whatever, he came into the scene. I said this was the dumbest kind of fucking content in the world, and yet he was nothing but praised by all these poverty fucking dumbass YouTubers that were like, "Oh my god, this guy is the next fucking like YouTuber," and I'm like,
because he got views.
he doesn't
everybody looks at
fucking
the view
do
count. Yeah,
anything.
yeah.
Like he's fucking useless.
Yeah.
Like he's just retarded. He's useless. He blows shit up. Nothing happens, and he entertains, and that's it.
He's the guy who smashes the iPhone. Like, and
Yeah,
that's
and
what
I
I was saying. Like, I see no value in that content. Is to just be outrageous, waste money, and everyone's like, yes, but he curates his content to outrageous, having that 5-second clip that everyone's like, what am I looking at right now? And then it sucks them in.
No, so it works for the
So-
viewership. It
and the
works for the
algorithms, yeah.
payment. I
Yep.
assume because he's getting paid from this.
100%,
I
yep.
think he's paying.
He does
getting,
very well.
I think, but I don't think he does. I think he's losing a ton of money every time he does a video. Meaning he does one, then the next one has to get paid for.
He's making real money.
Okay,
Like
so-
there is real money to be made, especially across all the different platforms, and he's doing it very well because everything he does well on Snapchat, does well on
Mm-hmm. So he does
Facebook,
well across the thing.
across all platforms.
But we've also seen this rise in YouTubers that are starting to share messaging that's basically bullshit for the sake of getting clicks. Like people giving financial advice, but doing it in a way that's like, I'm just
Dangerous,
going to
yeah.
lie. Yeah, just because that's what people are going to click.
But that's the
like,
gurus. Always the guys selling the ebooks and everything like that. I always told people, like, if people come to me because I do consulting for the exotic car rental space and everything like that, but I will give anyone whatever question, as complex as you want it to be. I will answer one question for free. It could be the most difficult thing you're facing. I just can't give you all of my time and run your business for you. But these gurus, everything's hidden behind a paywall. And then it's always generic nonsense from somebody who's never done anything, but they're the largest car rental company inside whatever, and they've started 6 months ago. It's all nonsense.
Yeah, but I feel like this is so dangerous because young people don't have that context of how stories are built or how, like you said something earlier, you said people are like, you have to be a production guy to kind of catch up that this interaction was fake. We're getting to a world where I can't even tell if a whore is a real whore or an AI whore. I'm just dead on serious. Sometimes I see these. What's that new meme thing that's going on? The Bella Butch, like coming back 2020 thing. You know what I'm talking about? Like, okay, the girls that are like doing the stupid faces, whatever. But anyway, but I can't tell. There's 50 whores doing it, and I can't even tell the real ones from the fake ones. So you can't even tell, like, except for the background that gives it away. Sometimes I'm like, were they all in the same kitchen? What the fuck?
Have you not seen the thing where there's guys that have OnlyFans accounts, or like you see somebody gets
and they're
blown
moving,
up,
and
they're moving, and it turns them into a woman. So all
Yeah.
these people are paying this dude in Cambodia who's sitting there wiggling in front of a camera, and everyone thinks it's a real human.
It's strange.
So, but what I'm saying is, so the context, because most guys are gay and have never actually seen pussy in their life, so they
When they were born, when they were born,
You always see one. Everybody sees once.
they came out of one, never saw one past
never again.
So, anyways, so if you have these people that can't tell the whores apart, you have people that can't tell the production apart, you have people that can't tell the financial advice apart. You see where I'm going with this? It becomes a giant illusion where, unless you're an expert in the field, you're basically being fooled into thinking something is real when it's not.
The thing that we have is like the thing that surprises me the most is the actual people with money that fall for it.
Yeah.
Like it's like, oh yeah, I'll clearly invest in this guy, because all these guys are doing is selling like a dream or selling some sort of like, it's too good to be true. But this is how every Ponzi scheme's ever worked. Oh, this guy's making 20% where everyone else is making 3%. Cool. Yeah, Jimmy said it was cool. And you always have then somebody else selling the bullshit for you. And whenever other people are selling the bullshit for you, that guy has succeeded.
But you know, when Bernie Madoff got caught, you know, and they interviewed his top people, like the guys that, not the guys that worked for him, the guys that he scammed, they were the richest guys. They were like, you guys know money, and you should have known that this was a scam. And you know what they all said? Like, they all said, we thought we were on the other side of it.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Right? And
like, they know what's going on.
They're like, we're in, so my money's safe, right? And it's like, no, you're the fucking customer. You're the player.
You're the one getting got the worst.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, like, that's what it comes down to. Like, and they deserve to get scammed, because in the end, when they got scammed, they were like, well, I thought I was part of the scam, like in a good way, like as if there's a fucking good side to be on.
Well, the early guys all got their money back, and
at
then
the beginning,
some.
yeah, exactly. So they felt they could keep. That's why they felt they were on the other side of the scam, because they're like, I'm getting paid.
Money. Yeah.
Until they it came crumbling down, then they're like, even your money's gone too. Like,
well,
there's no new
they
money
may have
coming
clawed
in.
back some of that too. But like these guys all got their initial investment back in return. So that's,
so they're just getting fake money at that point, and then they're just like,
there's nothing to
fucked
lose
out of it. Yeah,
and they get they're incentivized to further sell the fraud. So they're almost complicit in it.
So today, if someone wants to be a creator, since it's such an important job, I've always felt that, I hear Doug DeMuro say it. I think he's actually probably one of the only YouTubers left that actually has half of a brain that's from the old days, still doing this the same way.
The old guard.
Yeah, I mean, look, I don't agree with his financial beliefs or mental stuff. Like, everybody has their own view or whatever the fucking want to come from. But the point that I'm trying to say is that his advice was always like, you can't survive YouTube without building a business to drive people off of YouTube and go into building a business like he did Cars and Beds, etc. That's an intelligent response to like, hey, you can't be a circus monkey forever. At some point, you're going to have to take your circus and build a circus itself so that people can go there and you can position the other monkeys in it and say, this is the show, right? And now you sell the show.
Well, that's sort of how I've been able to do YouTube for so long, as I have other businesses, and the business generates the content.
Right, so you're not relying on that income, and neither are we, so we don't really give a shit. Sometimes I look at my thing, and I'm like, we've done 12 videos, and I've made $3,000 this month. I'm like, well, I can't even afford it.
Yeah, where's that going to get you?
I can't afford it.
That pays for the equipment.
Not even. So the point is that this is becoming like an epidemic where these kids think that being a creator in itself is the profitable venue, when it's really not. There has to be a business or substance behind it.
For a small
but
section of it.
very,
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 thin.
very small.
Correct.
You're lucky. You got more chances at actually
It's like
being
the Olympics.
successful as a CEO of a company that doesn't exist today than you do as being a creator, as one of a billion people that's trying to get attention for nothing, right?
But think about the Olympics. Think about how many people across every country train to be in the Olympics and don't even make it. So they do the same amount of training every day as the guy that goes and shows up, but they
So
have nothing to show
I
for
don't
it.
I don't agree with that, and I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
Because the Olympics and people that try
Yeah.
with the chance of getting there and making it, they're still practicing the art, right?
Sure.
And I think that kids on YouTube today, they're trying to gamble, hoping the virality will kick their shit up. Like and look at the gamble culture that's come out over the last like 6 years, because they know that young people gamble. Like they know that they don't want to work, so they're like, hey, gamble. You have a chance to win. And so I think YouTube's turning that algorithm the same. It's like you do something dramatic, you have a chance to go viral.
It's not logical.
No,
but like,
it's not. But it's like if
neither
you're
is the lottery.
circus monkey enough that you hit a wall at 80 miles an hour and do something, someone will be like, hey,
I want to see that.
that's kind of crazy and like interesting, and you'll have a chance of going viral.
But even when you go viral, everyone's got the misconception.
Yeah,
just
that
going
virality
viral
is money,
Is
whatever.
now
Yeah,
it'll be money, but like it's one check. It's like finding $100 in the ground. It's great. But
yeah,
it
but
doesn't
look
happen
at
every day.
Bad Baddie. Right, like a whore goes on whatever fucking
Train
name is
wreck,
now.
yeah.
She has cancer, unfortunately, for her.
Does
but
she really?
Yeah, she just got leukemia or something. Yeah, I'm saying the world's
Subscriber.
good. Yeah, the world's good as shit.
He liked the surprise.
No,
Oh
it was
my
on
God.
the fucking news. I don't
Yeah, yeah.
subscribe
I was
to
like,
any of
she's
this
still
shit.
alive.
Well, she was one of the few the last ones that was on TV.
Yeah,
That
but the
goes-
point is, if these girls go and have one viral moment, who's the other girl? The Hawktua fucking
Hawktua
whore?
girl,
Like,
yep.
it's
Haley,
always
whatever,
some
yeah.
fucking whore doing some fuck.
But you remember them because they're outrageous. And,
yeah,
and
but
that's
what I'm saying is, just because they got lucky, right? They hit that camera at the right moment and somehow it went viral. That's the gamble. Like, people think that being outrageous, not authentic. Like, she was being authentic. They're both being authentic. That's why it worked. They're both retarded in that way, and it just worked. And people are like, "Holy shit,
they're
there's a
real.
retarded
Yeah,
person
yeah,
in the
yeah.
world!" Wow, like,
And
I'm seeing it.
That's very different than the people that just go into a
And
supermarket
try to
scream
say
at
that,
the top
right?
of their
And try to
lungs or
do something
Yeah.
outrageous, and people were like, "Yeah, cool. We don't need the attention."
But if
Get
that
the
was
fuck
their
outta here."
actual
way
if they
of
were
being, it might
autism or
work,
something,
yeah.
and that's what they do, that's more outrageous.
So somehow the algorithm has figured out how to create virality for authenticity, but somehow people don't understand that because they're not productionally intelligent enough to understand that. So they just go on doing stupid shit in hopes that the gamble pays off for them.
Well, and if you ever look at a viral clip, you're like, oh, I like that. And you may just say 1 in every 10, you click to the account to where it came from. If there's no substance in the rest of the account, that guy disappears from your life. You remember that one clip and that's it. So you really need to have some sort of catalog. And it's like, oh, I'm vibing with this guy. That's the only way to grow from a viral content. That's how I grew, because I had a catalog of
So if you're
content
starting YouTube today and you're one of these fucking young fucks watching this,
Talking
I said
to you.
young fox, get it? Like
Get
Fox.
play on words.
trying to be nice.
Is she a fox?
I don't know what
What
that
are
is.
you? That's the
Is
wolf.
she a she?
That's a
Or she's a
wolf.
wolf.
Yeah. What the
Oh,
She speaks.
no, it was fucking Mark.
Oh, was it?
Mark's retarded. We gave him a microphone for some reason. We should take it back.
We gave him a mic last week. and he's
Someone
been
just
on
take
top
it
of
back. Yeah, this is just crazy. Anyways, hey, when you get a chance, move the AC up because my fucking nipples are like coming out. I can't see, nipples on that side. I got a lot of fur. What did you make? Oh yeah.
He's tethered.
Mark is the voice of La Pilota. That's a good gimmick.
Anyways, so if you are on YouTube today, how do you like today? You want to start?
You want to know the formula?
Yeah, what do you like? You've seen it for 20 years straight. I've been on it for maybe 12, 13 years. I've never depended on it nor gave a shit. 2-3 of my videos went viral, made like 4 or 5 million views, and it gave my channel like substance to start. I never made $1 off of it, meaning to the point where I even noticed $1 in my income that was like, I should make more content like this, and no matter. I've always had businesses. I've always turned a lead from there into a sale and into a customer, et cetera, and that's paid off very well for me. There are a lot of people today going into YouTube as content creators, not as business owners with a means to market their business. So,
Well, it's harder to become a business owner than this content
right.
creator.
So
Content
they
creator
like
grab
the
your phone.
idea of being in front of the camera more. So what I'm asking is, what would you do today, knowing that Cody exists,
Yep.
blowing up cars or taking Rolls Royces down on a thing and
Yep.
exploding them, and you have other people that are doing all types of stupid shit on there, but have millions of views. So
Yeah.
your first reaction is, how am I going to compete saying or doing this? So
But
what
think
would you
of
do?
Jackass. Jackass was hugely popular briefly, and now Jackass is nothing. These guys are, if
But because
anything-
Jackass is on YouTube for free now, and
well,
you don't need to
and-
produce
and
it.
anyone
and
can go get kicked in the nuts by
Exactly,
their
like-
buddy.
and
or
they are.
the
That's the
backyard,
problem.
the backyard
Yeah.
wrestling, and that's the problem that I had to grapple with over the years. That the content I was making, everyone's like, "Oh, I want to see more of that," and I'm like, "That's all over. Everybody does that."
Yeah,
Me doing.
you're
the
one
same
of
thing,
100 people doing
I'm one
it,
of a
yeah.
million, now. So like, I'm no longer standing out. When I was initially making DVDs and content, there was no package. Like, I'm sure it existed all over the world. I'm not the only guy who can do a burnout in Times Square, but I'm the only guy who's filming it and then sharing it with everybody. So that sort of thing, when I package it together, everyone's like, "Look at this!" And it was almost YouTube before YouTube. If you want to succeed now, you have to actually treat it like a business. And the person that I think that did this the best was Amelia Hartford. I don't know if you, yeah. So and it's not easy. I'm like you. I go somewhere. I'll turn the business off. We're hanging out. We're in Europe. We're having a great time. I don't want to think about my YouTube channel. I don't want, I've got people running the companies. I don't want to think about it. I don't want to be involved. I've traveled with her, and she's like, "I got to go back to my room and edit. I got to get the upload up by 4." I'm like, "Put it up tomorrow. Put it up like when we get back." But she treated it like a business, and she's grown exponentially, and she's done great things. And she kept her, like, the most important things in her life was the quality of content and then the frequency of content. So she wouldn't just like throw something up on her channel, just like I would just be like, "All right, let me go out back for a second and shoot a video and throw something up because I got to get an upload up." Everything was very calculated. So she had methodology to it. She had the frequency of the uploads and the consistency of the uploads is probably the most important thing. But you also have to produce.
But
good
she
content.
knew her content, and she was an
Correct.
expert putting her content out.
Correct.
Right?
And her content wasn't always like, it's always been the same.
So influence is expertise today, right? Basically, like I'm an expert in my value field. That's what I'm a money guy.
or
That's what I do.
entertainment.
Right,
Like,
meaning
it could
different
be-
values.
You could be funny. You could be educational.
You could be a comedian. That's a level of expertise, though. I mean, to
Correct,
make people laugh is not like I said something funny. It's like you purposefully knew how to trigger someone, get a joke out, etc. So, what industry or what specific venue in content creation is underutilized today that you think still has? Because, like, look, all these fucking kids that are watching this shit are like, "Oh, I want to do a YouTube channel for cars." What, fucking, like, really? Like, in 2026? Like,
Yeah.
when people are driving fucking vacuum cleaners, now you want to get involved in doing what, 1990s cars when you're
Yeah.
fucking 17 years old? Like, what the fuck?
I think underutilized is the trades. I think if more, and I find it fascinating. I like watching people pour concrete and make these structures and these houses. And it also teaches people that you don't have to do whatever, influencing. You don't have to go become a doctor to make a lot of money. These guys driving Lamborghinis, like the commonality that you have in a lot of exotic car owners, they all own the businesses. So they're not like, "Yeah, I got a great job and I've worked for 30 years. Now I'm making $500,000 a year." They could be 26 and making $500,000 a year just because they were an apprentice. They learned how to do something. They do it well. They start their own business, and then they're the ones writing the check and multiplying their labor because they can't do everything by themselves. And the people that, like Matt Ringsinger or something, is a home builder, and he's a guy that you watch there, and everybody just thinks he's the best home builder in the world. Why? Because he puts it on YouTube and he explains everything.
So you think that going through some of these like specific business trades and documenting like the Kardashians, like it's a real, like a reality show?
Yeah, like because people want to see somebody like with my legal battle now. I'm in the middle of a federal lawsuit and I fired my attorneys and I'm doing it myself. People want to see that. People want to see, is it possible? Like the odds are against you. Like when you start a business, the odds are against you.
Yeah.
And people want to see somebody succeed, but not too much,
Yeah,
obviously.
yeah.
So like they want to see you succeed. They want, and it's, especially if something seems unfair, they
Why
want to
do
see.
you think they don't want to see you succeed too much? When you're, this is an interesting topic. Like you clearly see the underdog starting. You're the one winning. Whatever. They somehow want you to win your lawsuit as an example,
Correct,
and they go, "I hope this guy wins because he's being bullied by some big company,
but
whatever."
not $100 million.
Yeah, I hope he doesn't, because then he's not like us anymore. He's got $2 billion.
Yeah.
Like he's the lottery winner.
Yeah.
Why do you think that matters so much? That you just win enough to make people feel good that there's a chance for them. But if you actually win in life, where
Sure.
you won because you put in the effort and it paid off for you, somehow now it becomes a negative,
Unfair. Yeah,
a
it's
negative,
almost
or now you're the enemy suddenly,
Correct.
even though you started as the underdog.
That is a very interesting social dynamic that we have, is that people almost hate success. Like I want to be successful, but if I try really hard and look, I put 100 hours into something and I have nothing to show for it. This guy put 100 hours in and he's got a $50 million business, or he brokered a yacht and made $3 million. Like, why can't I do that? And the answer is, they probably can, or they don't have the skill set to do that. A lot of people don't recognize where their skills max out. Like, I can't dunk a ball.
Yeah, but why do you think now? Okay, fine. Like, I see a basketball player making 100.
Yeah.
What the hell are you guys doing again?
We're on the same wavelength.
Anyways,
I can't dunk a
once
ball,
you
like-
get once you get $100 million on an NBA contract,
Yep.
I can't do anything with shooting a ball in a
Yeah.
hoop, right? So I can't do that. Someone else did.
Sure.
Doesn't fucking bother me. Like, I don't give a shit that the guy was
Well,
played sports his whole
athletes are
life.
the people we actually want to. Like, it's so
But
weird.
why? Like,
exactly why.
Why do we care if someone throws a football or like catches one and is mentally retarded anyways?
But
It's
we're
like,
we're annoyed when the Kardashians are making $1 billion because they're just dancing around in their underwear on
You're
television.
not doing anything.
But
But neither is a fucking athlete.
But
He's
the
grabbing a
but that's
ball
the
and
thing.
running.
The
Like,
athlete that gets the same amount of views by getting people to tune into the television to watch the game is getting paid that much, and we don't care. So
and
it's a
the
very-
larger argument here is that the actual athlete is probably not getting all that money they're bringing in anyways.
They're getting
because,
more.
Yeah, and the larger places bring in the
The endorsements,
Yeah,
yeah.
like
Shit.
yeah. So it's technically like I don't understand why we don't hate on meaning why as a culture we don't hate on those people, but somehow we hate on the one that made it on television. Like I get the jealousy from a person like Bad Batty or whatever with her
Yeah.
fucking name, because there is no like.
There's no context. There's
There's
no
nothing. It's just like,
substance,
oh,
yeah.
this is kind of luck. Or
Yeah.
that other idiot, what was her name? Bobby Afrin, like went in bed with Drake
Bobby
or something.
Althoff?
Whatever. Fucking, yeah, it is fucking, whatever.
She only, same thing, 5 minutes.
I'm saying 5 minutes of fame. I get that part. Like, I get young people are jealous of someone else got famous and they could have, because they see themselves in the stupidity of that. They're like, I could have done this shit too. But like, we can't be athletes. Like, I
No, I
can't. I'm
understand.
not 7 foot tall. I can't dunk a ball.
Sure.
I can't do anything. So, like, what I'm saying is, I'm not looking at that as like, why is that person richer than me? Like,
It's very weird what we choose to want to support or not. Like, even with OnlyFans, people like, oh yeah, great, she made $50 million a year. Nobody's like, the CEO of Exxon's making 20.
I know,
You're like,
yeah.
burn that guy to the
Yeah,
stake.
exactly.
The guy's got 6,000
I know, yeah.
employees, and then
and she's fueling pornography and all this shit. They complain as a culture they don't want,
I
but
mean-
yet the guy is providing fuel which you use every day and you fucking need, and that's a problem because somehow it's tied into your expenses, but you voluntarily give up
Correct.
$10, $20, $30, $50, or $300 or $500 for a video from a whore.
That's absurd.
And then complain that then. What the fuck?
What-
Gas
yeah.
price is up, and that's that guy's fucking fault. And
this guy
the
raised the
guy
price of
doesn't even
Cheerios
connect
now.
the fucking. He doesn't even have any correlation to the price.
yeah,
of
but
gas.
why don't we say all OnlyFans revenue over $1 million is taxed at 90%? That's what we want to do to the other rich people.
Yeah, it's true.
But now it's like whatever. Yeah. who
So
cares?
where, but I think this comes back down to young people thinking that if they have a shot at this, they don't have a shot at being the Exxon CEO. They know that, but they
correct.
have a shot at being an OnlyFans whore. So they don't want that to be taxed because that's a path that they have access to.
Yeah, I
You know,
guess,
if you're
yes
a
and
kid
no.
and if you're a kid and you go, I want to be a content creator, and somehow some idiot introduces a bill that YouTube creators should be taxed 90%.
No, you don't want to be.
Well, that's your future. So
Yeah.
you're like, well, that's kind of fucked up. That's 6 out of 10 of us want to go in that field. They
Yeah.
can't tax us now. They're preventing us from following our dreams. But they are all for taxing people who followed their dreams
Who
30
have the
years
money,
ago,
yeah.
who made the money doing what someone else dreamed of doing.
Well, now
30
they
years
have
ago.
too much, and now it's like speeding, right? It's like I set the speed limit on the road, so I'll sit in the left lane and tell you if you're behind me, you're an asshole. Like you're crazy. Like, what do you want to go any faster than I'm going? That's how people look at things. Is that what they feel is appropriate is the law, and that's not how things work. So if somebody has too much money, what's too much money?
Right.
Like,
and who determines that based on what's
it
the
depends.
effort to money ratio? Like,
Correct.
just
And-
because you don't have enough, then he has 10 times more, and that's
and-
too much.
Same as somebody wins the lottery, right? Somebody wins the lottery. Hey, give me some. Give me some. If your neighbor is a doctor, you're not like, hey, you got a lot more money than me. Give me some. But now, like, you watched him become a doctor, so like they owe you nothing. Same with the guy who won the lottery. He owes you nothing, but you're like, well, you didn't earn it. Like, so just give me some. It's only fair. And that's how people look at money. Is when somebody has more and they don't feel like they earned it, they feel like they should give it to you or share it or pay more. But the thing that I don't understand is that when people actually earn it, like when Jeff Bezos, everyone wants Elon Musk to get his $50 billion pay package. Why? Like, I don't understand that some people are
because
for,
people believe the Elon Musk thing is actually a very simple thing. It's basically people believe that Elon Musk is fighting for them. So they believe he's like that Tony Stark's trying to change the world and the world's behind them. But they can't read people. They can't see shit.
Sure.
So they only see the surface of like, this guy's doing everything to change the world. You know, and it's like, and why are they blocking him or stopping him?
Sure.
And so there's a hero complex there that's not necessarily like he's a very interesting phenomenon. That's why they look at Bezos as the villain.
Yep.
You know, and they look at Musk as, even though he's richer, as the kind of like the good villain, you know, like trying to do the good thing.
But Bezos is the villain, but he's the one that every single person uses on a daily basis.
Yes.
Like, not everybody uses. Like, what do you get? The Elon Musk flamethrower? How'd that improve?
More people touch Bezos and Zuckerberg, and more people see them as the evil.
Correct.
You know,
because they have so much money.
Even though Musk has more money, and yet they touch his product less.
And he has more money now. He's
I know.
49 billion.
Yeah.
He has 500 billion
more than the last
next
guy. Yeah,
that's crazy. It's insane.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
More
it's
power
great.
to him.
Good power. That's fantastic.
That's
for
not
him,
even a quantify. Like, it's hard for. It's
just,
hard.
I don't. We just really struggle. Like, we're gonna have to take his keyboard away. And
So, to the athlete argument, do you think it's because I can look at the athlete and go, I can't do that. I can't Steph Curry from the corner. I can't jump 55 feet in the air. So that's the quantifiable part.
You can't
That's
run
the
a company either. If you take anyone that works at Amazon stocking the shelves that complains they don't get paid enough and put them at the helm,
They can't do
Yeah,
it.
the whole
Company's gonna
company
crash.
collapsed
It's gonna
in 5
collapse in a
weeks.
week.
Yeah,
But with the athlete, I can make that assessment on the front. I think that's why it's instant. I can look, I can't do that. But the CEO looks like me a little bit. He's about my height.
there should be simulator games where you have to be the CEO of something and see what happens. See how long you.
You remember that Jim Carrey movie, Dick and Jane, when they made him the CEO, and then while he's talking, the CEO stock is and the company's burning, and they're like all running away, and they're like, he's like, I finally made it to CEO.
But it's like imagine building your own house. Everything is too expensive until you give somebody the hammer, and you're like, that's not what it's supposed to look like. It's much more different. Like, or even medical. Like, I'm not going to do my own surgery. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. So you're willing to pay more, but then you're going to complain that Dr. Smith up on the hill's got all this money and he doesn't deserve it.
Yeah, but he put that stint in your heart to let you live.
I mean, actually, I'm going to withdraw all of my comments about healthcare because I think it's so bullshit.
We agree with that. We had a whole episode on the bullshit of healthcare.
Yeah.
All of it is a fucking scam. All of it, from the beginning, the doctors,
health insurance,
all of it,
everything's
everything. Even the pharmacy is a scam.
It is confirmed. Everything having to do with health.
We've been down that that rabbit hole. It's already been done. Okay, well, I mean, definitely good arguments here to talk about, YouTube generally, but it's pretty sad, I think, that the number one job is content creator. I just don't understand that as
people want the least path of resistance to become rich.
But I don't think that's the least path of resistance. I
actually
think
the lottery is the least, but like
no, but I think
odds.
it's a lot of work. Like content creation is a lot of work.
People don't realize that. At first it's fun, but
but also when I've talked to like maybe 20 kids between 18 to 30, and the common thing is I have no passion, I have no interest, and I'm just lazy. And I go, okay, well, what are you going to do? I'm going to be a content creator. But I
sell a package on Amazon for that. It's a rope and a stool. One click, right to your door.
So, but if you have no passion and you have no interest, then you have no expertise. So you can't influence anything because you don't care about anything. And then you're lazy. Well, this counteracts the whole act of creating content because maybe you think it's cute that you share like TikTok videos for 5 seconds or smile at the camera and get 200 guys to want to send you money. But I think of that and I go like, this doesn't add up. Like, why do you think that's a sustainable strategy? And even if you're a hot chick, why do you think that there won't be other hot chicks? Like,
and why do you think people are going to care in 5 years?
Yeah, like in 2 years or in 3 years. It's the stripper effect.
Yep.
It's like, I'm young now. I'm like the hot girl at the club. And then now that I like something happened, I'm not at the club for 2 weeks. I come back and it's like 5 other girls are there, and now suddenly
that's
nothing.
The biggest downfall a lot of creators have is that they start getting traction, and then they start to like everything is a bell curve, and everyone
thinks it's forever. Too.
Everyone thinks it's forever, so they start spending like it's forever, and they're like, why are views going down? And that's when they start chasing the algorithms, or saying, I have to go bigger and bigger and bigger.
It's also
and then
lack
they
of
burn out.
business acumen, right?
Yeah.
Because like when you're in a business and you make, let's say you have a big hit, like someone found your website, you suddenly sold, 10 pieces of whatever equipment, and you suddenly made $100,000. Now you go and spend and set up your business as if you're going to sell that $100,000 every month for the next 10 years or more.
A lot of businesses overloaded from COVID.
Yeah, and they thought they were going to do it forever,
Correct.
and even in my businesses, we 5X that 21, 22 each year, and I was like, great. And then by 23, I was like, hey, we need a strategy
pull
to,
back.
no, I was different. I was like, we need a strategy to maintain this. Otherwise, it is going to pull back with or without us doing anything. We're going to lose like 30, 40%. And so we worked twice as hard, cut all the costs up front, and then we retained, and I continued to grow. But I didn't grow 5X, 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 and I didn't think that 5X was going to be forever.
Correct. Exponential growth is never
it's not like a sustainable all the time. So anyways, let's talk about cars. I mean, we have a lot to talk about business. We have very good discussion to start.
Well, business oil just went 100.
Iran is still getting bombed, so you can expect that. I don't.
And they also elect their new supreme leader.
I know he looks just like the last one. Can't
How
tell him
many
apart.
days do you think that guy's gonna
What's his
last?
last name? What's his last name?
Someone made a good comment at lunch the other day. He was like, the only way to win this war for real is every time they elect a new one, they take
keep
him out
taking him
within
out,
until people go, it's okay, I'll pass. Like, it's okay.
I'm good. Yeah.
It's like, they're like, you're next. It's okay, guys. I'm moving to Egypt.
Exactly. I'm already rich. I don't need this shit.
Well, talking about it, like we were funny enough before we even started, I had the graph up on the screen, and it's like actively like going up. It went from 102 to 103 while we're here.
That's how the markets work.
Yep, that's how markets work. But it's like they've done all this bombing over the week, and it's not going to get any better, like by any fucking means. And now I was looking this morning. It's like now we're calling for a ceasefire.
Who is?
We, the U.S. and
listen,
Israel.
are we?
We're calling for a
Listen,
ceasefire.
let me tell you the reality of the Middle East and what they don't understand. Because I was actually, I was having a reminiscing full fucking 360.
Full
Like,
circle-
yeah,
deja
full
vu
circle moment. I was on my, I said this last time, I was on my dad's shoulder in the basement, when the last war broke out in Iran. And there is a kid now that's experiencing that, on their own. We created the turmoil in Iran. Like the U.S. did.
We made the problem.
We created the problem. Now we're recreating it again.
Are we
It's
going
50
back
years
into
later.
the 60s?
Yeah, it's the same cycle. Every like 50 years, 60 years, same shit happens.
What is I love to describe problems, but it's not help. What's the solution?
So the solution is that the Middle East in itself is never going to be the Western world. I think the Saudis understood this really well. And I think this is the problem where you have these black box countries. Black box countries are countries like Cuba, Venezuela, and North Korea. Like they're basically disconnected from the world.
Sure.
So the real solution, and this is where the money issue becomes real. Like Dubai and Saudi Arabia understood this. They're players in the world.
In the global economy. Yeah.
So they're players. They're like, we're part of this game,
And we
but we have
understand
our
what our role is.
cultures and we have our shit and get the fuck out of our house. Like stay out of this. But we play. We buy weapons. We participate in financial markets. We do cross-global, investments and trade. And we participate. We're not here to destroy or harm the ability of human civilization to expand and grow.
And we're not a threat.
Yeah, and we're not
A
doing anything.
minimal threat.
We could also be a threat if you harm us, but we're not. And if you leave us, we don't harm you. You don't harm us. You let us. And we don't fucking go and mindle in their bullshit, and we don't care who their leader is. The guy fucking butchered a guy literally in another country with his plane. Put assassins on them and fucking killed them, and we're like, oh yeah, he bought another $100 million in weapons.
I
We're
wonder
good.
what he said. Yeah.
Yeah. So the point that I'm trying to make here that I think is just relevant is if they play in the central bank system, we don't care.
Okay.
It's the ones that don't that we start to
That we're
look
nervous
at.
about,
Yeah,
yeah.
especially when they control so much trade.
They've got
and this
nothing
and
to
that.
lose.
Yeah, and we don't know what the fuck's going on
Sure.
because they don't have constant intel. They don't have agents in there. They can't see it as with much clarity and everything else. So it's much harder for them.
Well, I've heard theories of like the billionaires of the world, right? There's billionaires in all countries. They're really the ruling class of the world, and all
Always
the
have
countries.
been. Yeah.
So all the countries, it's all nonsense. These guys are really controlling and pulling the strings of the politician as to what's going on.
Yeah, that's correct.
But that's
But that's been the case.
I relate
for,
to that much more than
for-
anything.
Yeah, but if you want to fix the Middle East, you have to be able to, one, have infrastructure in place for that, for it to be a benefit for them to join the central bank
Yeah.
and everything else. And usually that benefit doesn't benefit as much, and it also gives up power and authority. So they get very like, oh well, what's in it for me? Well, why should I let you in this country? You're taking my resources. You're not giving me anything back. And the problem with the U.S. and the Middle East policy is that it always understands. It understands that there are regime leaders and people that are opposed to that, but they somehow think that the country is the infrastructure and the political climate and capacity to replace that person on their own with someone that can withstand and be part of that, Western culture. Like we're integrated.
Nobody will trust anyone that we put in power over
Yeah,
there. Like,
exactly. Well, so this is the problem. Like even if we do, as soon as like something gets weak, then other insurgencies go, well, we got guns. So I think that the larger, and I know this is going to sound crazy, but I think the larger opportunity is if you give the people guns. I know this sounds crazy.
You just get more uprising.
You do get more uprising, but you get a final war where the people take their country back.
It gets figured
I
out.
think the thing we're always going to grapple with, and it's never going to be fixed in any of our lifetimes, is the largest problem our world faces is religion. And religion drives a lot of
Disparity in religion.
what happens. And it's like people don't operate rationally, right? Like, why are you punching the guy in the face that's next to you? It's because he believes in something different.
So then, but the argument then becomes that the Saudis and the Dubais also run with very strict religious
But
rules.
all different religions.
Yeah, but they still run with a very systematic rule, and it is more religious based. Now, I've always argued religion is not a negative. It's a negative once it becomes order, not structure, when it's like you have or are forced to abide by this, or there's capital punishment for it. But that is what government is too. Like,
Well, it rules. We need some sort of governing
so
rule.
structure is okay. Like if you have a law, it's an okay law to follow, as long as it doesn't become so hindering that as soon as you attempt to live your life in a way that doesn't impact others, you still are now, you're not allowed to drink water and you're going to die. Like so. Order is the issue. Structure is necessary. So if we look at like the larger scope of religion, I don't think religion is the reasoning behind the why. If you actually read all the books, from the Christian books to the Islam books to even the Muslim, all of it, it's all the same stuff.
They've all got the same fundamental, like, be nice to each other.
And the nice stories and the nice fables, whatever. It's all the same shit. That the larger issue is the interpretation of these books, but then it's the geopolitical climates of control and order over how these books are interpreted. So, but that's because the books were always meant to be structured. People turn them into order because it's profitable to turn people into slaves, which is it's profitable.
Well, again, even if you look at our president, everybody always has to Christianity, pretend they're religious. They don't give a rat's ass.
But that's what I always say. Religion is the basis for why laws exist, because laws are mandatory, and religion has a fake sense of not being mandatory.
Yeah, laws always promote morals.
Yes.
And the politicians are the least moral people. And
yes,
the people
and the
in power
moral
are
values always come from a religion, because it's always that's how it started to begin with.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, even when I've argued this 100 times, marriage in America is a Christian act.
Correct. Yep.
Even though it is portrayed as a state act, it's not. It's a Christian act. So if it doesn't work for people and they're like, oh, well, I mean, read the fucking contract.
Yeah.
Like,
We signed the paper.
like read what the fuck you're signing. Like,
We pay a photographer.
it's a religious act. It's okay, but I'm saying it's a fine way to, like, if it's an accepted form of societal standard, that's okay. It's not like evil. It's like what people choose. But the reason it has a failing rate is because it just generally is a religious act in a time where people are not necessarily the most religious or believers in that act, and they're losing faith over time. So it's going to break.
I mean, there's 200 religions out there.
Mm-hmm.
That many, damn.
Yeah, but if there's 200 religions, only one could be right. There's some overlap, but like somebody's
Assuming,
wrong.
well, what if they're all
most of them
wrong?
are wrong.
What if they're all wrong? Yeah.
They are all wrong. In
Yeah,
my
but I'm
opinion,
saying right. But what is an atheist but a person that just agrees that every religion is wrong except theirs?
Yeah.
You know, like they believe all religions are wrong. Period.
Why can't we? If we had just a non-religion that was just don't punch the person next to you, like don't harm and don't steal.
But we do. Those are called laws.
No, the laws are imposed by the people that don't follow the laws.
From
so
somewhere.
that makes it more difficult.
Well, they came from somewhere. They came from a law of Christianity.
When the kings do this, but I don't have to do that. That people don't. That doesn't sit well with everybody.
There's a difference between having a law and having fairness of law. That's a totally. There's a difference between having a religion and being forced to abide by religion. These are. I mean, you can believe in God. You don't have to be killed if you don't. Right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
there's a difference
I
between the
understand
two.
that.
Right? So people's choice of what they follow for structure or morality is on them. They can choose. to
choose
believe in
whatever
a
you
cat.
want to make you act.
They can look at a cat
appropriately,
and be like, "This cat is my god," or "This elephant is my life." Okay, that's
God.
fine. Yeah, I mean, or whatever that is. Yeah, that's fine. You know, the point that I'm trying to make is that all of these things can happen and people can coexist, but there are opportunities where people can also take a look at these laws and make them more progressive in nature to match the world they exist in.
Change is very especially with laws. Change is very difficult.
It's very difficult.
We don't have smart people advocating for smart things. We
you say
have
that
people.
again?
We have people following what they're told to follow, and that's why we have Republicans, Democrats, and they have to vote the line, and they'll vote for the dumbest thing that they want to not give, or they want to give a 8-year-old an Uzi because that's what everybody on their side is doing, and that was proposed.
Well,
by the
I
other
think
side.
people create laws because it's popular. They don't create laws because it's progressive in nature to what the next 10, 15
because
years
popular would be legalize marijuana. They
No,
don't.
popular. Well, yeah, yes and no. But again, it's popular by the people, but it's also unpopular by the people paying you.
But the people should be in charge. Like the populace should be in charge.
Wait, of
Yeah,
course, but
yeah.
then we would have term limits, and people would, which
Well,
is the
all
number
stuff
one.
that we
all
should-
stuff
I
comes from
agree
that.
100%
Yeah.
with it.
If you put political, like people in office who generally are not individuals who are incentivized to do the right thing for the country, but they're incentivized to do the right thing for themselves or the people that pay their campaign so they can keep their job. Well, you're asking this in a capitalist society where that's their shot at making money.
Yeah.
Like,
I think we should have, when people reach a certain number, like limit of wealth, when you've gained enough from us, you should be obligated to then serve the people and then rule the country.
well, I think even easier, instead of military service in a lot of countries, like we're going away from warfare on the ground, meaning generally, even
I don't know. They're
no,
talking about ground troops.
but the volume of warfare on the
Sure,
ground
yeah,
for
yeah.
modern countries
Yeah.
is very little. Like
100
even if they
years ago
send,
was
I
crazy.
mean, everybody had a knife back then and a sword, and it's like fuck it. Today, it's more drones, this, and the end result is some people on the ground seeing what they can find or kill, but the majority of it is not done on the ground. So the why don't we have a different type of service then? When you turn 18, instead of having to, or between 18 to 25 or 30, whatever that age is, it's no longer a question of can you shoot a gun, can you go be a nurse when people are killed? Why don't we force people to actually go and serve their country and work in government?
Israel.
You are allowed to work in any form of government. You want to work in an aid
could be
agency.
clean up
you
the
want to work
streets,
in a health clinic that is generically available by the government instead. Wherever you want to serve your country for 4 years, this will help, and this will give people who actually
life skills.
and it also would give rich people, poor people, and everything the ability to gain skills while working in a societal system without putting their life in danger. Because the unpopularity of military service is that you're going to die. So you're going to get drafted. It's not the idea of going on a military base.
Statistically, they won't, but
exactly. But the fear that you might be shooting people or getting shot at. People are like, I don't want to do that shit, and it's politics and this.
You got a 30% chance of being a chef.
Yeah, but if you told me when I became a citizen that like you would have to serve, you became a citizen, you have to serve 4 years, part-time, full-time, whatever that is,
Sign me up.
into this, and you're going to get paid, and before you become rich or do anything, you have to serve your country by doing these acts and that are
Israel does that with military.
Men have to serve 32 months,
And
women
women
have to
too.
serve 24. Gal Gadot.
yeah, but I'm saying it
is like
doesn't
a
have
weapons
but
instructor.
my
That's
argument
cool.
is you don't have to do it in the military.
Correct.
You can
No,
do
I
it in
agree,
Congress,
Service.
and Congress could be filled with constant rotations of 4 to 6 years of
100%.
people who are
do that.
well, that would be ideal.
How are the
though.
old guys gonna stay rich?
But that would be
Well, yeah.
ideal. But that would be ideal in a
Yeah.
perfect world. You'd be like, you guys are the guys holding the future is yours. You're holding the president accountable to what he's supposed to fucking do.
That's what's messed up about politics. So you'd think that being a congressman or something is a thankless job, right? Oh, they're already wealthy. They were a
exactly,
lawyer. They
yeah.
were something. But they're taking $175,000 a year salary and turning it into $70 million
$1
somehow. Of course, there's no incentive for them.
Yeah,
to
for
leave.
them to leave,
They've got
exactly.
all
So-
the insider information as to what's going on, how to
and
manipulate.
how they've done that is basically what prevents them from making progressive common
Correct.
sense laws. Because you're asking a capitalist in a capitalist country
to make it more
give
fair
up
when
their
they're
money.
on the other side.
Yes, to
gonna
give
happen.
up their money when they were watching other people make theirs, and they're like, well, now these people are my bosses indirectly, and they're telling me what to do. Anyway, so Iran's fucked, and I don't think that's going to change. What else is on the news that was not depressing?
Jesus Christ.
Not depressing.
Not the.
No,
That's
good
a
luck.
tough
Okay.
one.
But yeah,
to,
think
like-
about it. Like the news is designed to scare you and depress you, and then sell you a solution. So, here we
staying
go.
in the same section
Oh,
of the
horse.
world, the horses.
Oh, horse.
The horses.
I love horse.
Are
What
horses.
We call them
We call them
horses.
horses
Okay.
because our HR manager gets mad at us for saying things.
I mean, I think we said the word horror about
Yeah,
300
three
times on this
times.
podcast.
But
so
it was deep.
We're not doing well.
In the YouTube.
so the horses are stuck in Dubai because of all the crazy obviously, it's on fire over there. So they're all stuck in Dubai, and this goes.
America
into,
is not shooting anything at Dubai, by the
Yeah.
way. That's Iran fire and missiles that are because they're helping us in Dubai.
Well, I'm saying the airspace,
Yeah.
keeping people there, which goes into
Yeah.
everything that we've been talking about. All these OnlyFans horses, and like look what it turns into. Like you're so at the mercy of.
I mean, listen, that's what the Middle East is, though. It's the unpredictable nature of what it is. It takes us 9 hours to get anywhere from America onto Europe
correct,
or anywhere else. And that's the strategic advantage to why the missiles on here every day. You
Yeah.
know, if you're next door, it's a different story.
Yeah,
if you're
that's-
Ukraine to Russia, it's a good example. Like even if you're not in the conflict or you're a normal guy, you're going to be the byproduct of what the fuck's happening.
that was our fear with Cuba, and that's our
Yeah.
fear with Greenland.
Exactly, yeah, because they have too many proximity that they can do something. So that's a higher shielding risk. But too bad for the horses or all the people that made massive investments in the certain areas. I think they'll recover past this. I think the UAE is a
Oh, yeah,
neutral
I'm not
state
worried about
that I think they'll.
They understand.
I think
money,
they'll do
yeah.
a better job at defending the country next time, or having defense systems, knowing that this is more likely a threat than it's not.
I don't think I didn't expect it. I didn't think they would regionally bomb Dubai
After the
or
Epstein
Qatar.
files, though, I saw it because
I mean, the Epstein files show it that the Epstein cutoff list is essentially the
Yeah.
global elite. Like nobody was
Nobody was
safe. But at the end of the day, I mean, I don't know. Being on the Epstein list sucks, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if we were in that same situation 10 years ago, and they're like, yo, this dude throws awesome parties on an island. They're not saying like, hey, we got 12-year-olds running around. He's saying like, he went to this party. It was awesome. You should go check it out. I probably would have taken the invite. I wouldn't have known any better.
Yeah, but the argument was never that whoever. I don't think they gave shit to anybody to hang out with him. They gave shit to anybody to hang out with him that was accused of doing something.
Oh, yeah,
either
that I don't
rape
know.
or
Sure.
rape or kids or whatever. And there were a lot of people on that list who
Yeah.
never even became part of the
Or
news,
never
'cause-
went there.
right? Or they just showed up
It's
in a
just
picture.
connection,
They
yeah.
were part of a
Yeah.
fundraiser. They showed
Sure.
up. He was there. Whatever. He was
Yeah.
interconnected and everything. I don't see something wrong with that.
Yeah, I mean, there's a million people that have photos with Harvey Weinstein,
Exactly,
Louis C.K. that
and I
thought
mean,
he was cool, but
you
they didn't
took
know
a
any
picture.
better.
The guy was a major Hollywood guy. Okay, whatever. Like, who
Now you
cares?
got a picture of O.J. Simpson
Yeah.
and you on the wall.
Yeah, but it's just the reality of it. But I think the guys that are doing stuff that are in emails being told
Sure.
like, "Hey, get me this 12-year-old,"
Yeah, well,
that's a
different
fucking
problem.
That's a
But
mental
that guy
issue.
deserves to get caught.
Yeah, but that guy's not caught right now.
Sure.
And I think we have a lot of wars preventing the news from even talking about it.
Distraction. It's all like, hey, look over here. While we're
I
doing
don't
shit
think
over
that
here.
was random. That the timing became so right.
I
as-
never
don't
think
that's
anything's random.
you know?
They all pull the strings.
Yeah, exactly. Especially when you realize how fucked the news is and what a big scam it is. Like that was my biggest realization as a kid. I was like, when I realized the news was a scam, I was
Yep.
like, holy shit! Like this
Yeah,
is like
this
fuck
is my information.
Yeah.
The only funnel of information. I can't trust it.
The problem's in the name, the news, new. It always has to be
Yeah.
new. So,
Yeah,
Yeah.
so staying on the same bullshit. Miami Bling Boss busted for $1.8. A
saw
massive
this.
counter.
1.8 million.
I don't
yeah.
even know who that is.
He was down here selling fake Tiffany's, watches,
Fake watches.
everything.
Right,
Well,
right
with
in your
that face, I
wheelhouse.
can definitely see it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not looking very like
He
he
don't
don't look like he's happy for selling
looks like
Tiffany's. Usually you're happy when you have a lot of luxuries.
He looks like a villain in a Nolan movie. He's the one that wants to steal the town's water supply.
Exactly. Yeah. I don't
Did
get
we
it.
come up with the solution for the getting the ladies out of Dubai?
No, I don't think there's
No.
a solution.
Or just leave them there?
Yeah, there's
they just
people that were
belong there
paying
now?
300 grand just to go to a side country just to escape Dubai
Okay.
itself. You know, with a private plane. Like
Yeah.
so.
So they just belong to Dubai now?
No, I mean, they've always belonged to Dubai.
I mean,
That's-
and they know the currency to get their way out of there, or like at least go into a safe place. So
Yeah.
I'm not worried about them. Like that.
I mean,
that's
they'll
not.
survive. Well,
Yeah,
you know.
they chose to be there.
Most of them can work from the country, you know, so it's fine.
Yeah, but this guy with the bling boss, this is a very common thing. Anytime there's stuff that has a value, and like I always think about this: if you're gonna go buy a gold bar, like what am I gonna melt it down to see if it's real? Like I'm
people actually
taking
do
somebody's.
Some
Oh,
people
yeah.
do that. Yeah, they buy
Do
gold
you
bars.
have a gold bar,
No,
PJ?
no, I don't do that.
That'd be cool.
I still like stacks of cash.
Yeah, I mean,
I like to take hundreds at a time and
It-
use
it's-
them for
it's-
something.
it's cool to have a little bit of gold, some gold, silver. It just looks cool in the safe. But at the end of the day, how do you know it's real without melting it down? So the same thing with guys like this. They're buying watches, and then the guy's got a reputation. Everyone thinks it's good, but he could be selling you a $50 watch, and you just don't know any better.
Yeah, I mean, most people that sell counterfeit start in the. If you're selling bags on a heavy basis,
Yeah.
you know, and gold and chains and watches, you're usually going down the wrong path. Like,
And that guy, I mean, they're always bound to fail eventually because when somebody goes to like, if somebody's buying this shit all the time, some people can't afford it, and when they go to sell it and they find out it's counterfeit, is when
and
that all
also,
starts
just
crashing
1.8 million is very little money.
That's
in
not
the
a
big
lot.
No, he
game.
got
Yeah,
caught,
it's
no, he got
like
caught with that
barely
much in
anything.
merchandise in one shot.
Yeah, but that's very little.
Well, and
it
the other-
depends what it is, but it's very little.
The other thing is a lot of guys that I know that have been arrested for fraud. They just the number's always lower than it is. It's what they could easily
what they
prove.
can
like
put-
they're not
put
going
out
to dig
there.
into the
Put a pin on
weeds.
you.
So figure it's probably double whatever they advertise.
So, all right.
Emil's dying.
Sorry. And then the last one in the clown show, Malone Lam. I don't know if you saw this.
Oh, I saw this today.
He got
yeah.
pinched in a huge indictment for over $230 million. That's crazy.
He was a contractor for the government, and he stole the Bitcoin that we seized. Good for him. Like we seized
good for
Bitcoin,
him.
and then like this guy's like, "Thank you very much," and like
Oh, and he just
disappeared into
took
the
it.
Caribbean. Then the French, what do you call them? The gerrymandering or something?
Gerrymandering.
Yeah. Well, that's gerrymandering.
Jeremy
is
is
a different word.
with the politics, yeah.
Yeah.
No, so an Asian guy worked for the government.
He was a contractor for probably a computer hacker or something.
and they basically gave him coin.
No,
that they
we
seized?
seized, or he
From
probably
other
helped us
criminals.
seize these coins from criminals, and then he just transferred them himself and disappeared. So we got
Wow.
like 200. Was it 230
But
million?
why would you do
$35
that
million.
thinking you can get away with that?
I mean,
shit?
Why
if-
does anyone do anything?
Yeah, no, but I'm saying that's
how
a
did
pretty.
this guy get hired by the government? He didn't go through the traditional means. He probably got caught doing something.
Yeah.
They employed him because he had a certain skill set. He then stole money and bounced.
But
Like,
usually you can't trust Asians because you can't tell their facial reactions to
Yeah.
anything. So it's very
I mean,
difficult to know.
you know who that guy can't trust? Whoever that barber was.
Yo, for real.
Well, I mean, they all look like that, though. That's the problem.
So this sounds plays into what goes on down here.
Why are you laughing? I'm
There's-
serious. They all look
That's
like
the real
mushroom
criminal's the guy who
topping.
cut
Yeah.
his hair.
Yeah.
They don't have the
they're
mushroom
still- the
topping.
thing about him was they're still trying to find all his cars because he hid them all with his friends
Smart.
across the country.
I've
Just
always
spread 'em
said
out.
the smart criminals, like the dumb criminals are the ones that flaunt everything. The smart criminals are the guys that know they're going to get caught and they bury stuff where it's not going to be found. So after this guy will go to jail for 4 years. He'll be out in 2. And if he's got $50 million
they'll
in
come find
assets
it. Yeah, they'll
sprinkled,
come find
they're
it.
not going to find
He'll-
it. Though.
he'll
just-
basically, like, use
disappear
it
with
later
that,
and
yeah.
come out.
So it's a longer term strategy. What is it? The guy looks like he's 20. I don't know how old he is.
24.
24, yeah. So like
was
this
him and
guy will
another
have
guy.
his whole life ahead of him at 28, and he'll be retired forever with effectively $50
Well, I
million.
mean, that's
clean.
a business strategy
Yeah.
now, and like
Yeah.
with a lot of young people, they go to jail for a short period of time
But
running
think about
a
it.
scam.
You go rob a 7-Eleven with a gun. You're in jail for 20
yeah,
years.
exactly.
You get
For,
nothing.
for $150.
Yeah.
These guys are stealing $100 million and they're out
Well,
on the
I
streets
also
in
think
2.
that has a lot to do with your skin color too.
Yeah.
Most black people rob 7-Eleven, so they go to jail for 100
Well,
years.
no,
so-
Oh,
culturally.
damn.
like,
I didn't know where you were going with that, but yeah, it's good.
No, but I'm serious.
no, it's
Look,
culturally.
I was like, where's he going?
Okay, they got black people in jail for weed
Yeah.
for
Dude,
like 20
correct.
years, and
Yeah.
it's legal in the state they did it in
Yeah.
right now. So they could technically be like, listen, sorry, fuck it, have a good day.
They tried, and Trump was like, "Nah, we're good."
Yeah, like so why the fuck do they want to keep black people in jail? Like,
Yeah,
I mean,
if it's
they
over
didn't-
weed, let them out. But
Yeah,
like
meaning
usually if it's over weed and they were drug dealers, there's more going on. They were like
yeah, but what I'm saying
controlling
is
their
but if
territory.
they
They were
didn't
killing
get him on
people
a
or-
charge for murder
Yeah, yeah.
or I understand if someone
a
killed
lot
someone,
of the time
like,
they'll drop the charges and then focus on the easy.
But
charge.
you
Yeah.
genuinely think that if they had, let's say, 10 people in a jail of 10,000,
Yep.
and those 10 people were only there on weed charges,
let them go.
Yeah, but they're not doing that.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah, but I know. I mean,
that's the
I
logical thing
half
to
the
do.
people in prison shouldn't be in prison because they're in
100%.
fucking crimes that aren't even
a
relevant.
conversation. That's also a big
Yeah,
conversation.
that's a whole different argument. Most of those people ain't
Look,
Asian either.
We
Yeah.
do not live in a well, just the stuff we covered today. We do not live in a perfect world. So the
No,
only thing we can do
guaranteed.
is acknowledge that and try to make the best
But
of what's in front of us.
we're also not evolving fast enough to try to make it work.
We
you
also
know?
don't live in the real world because none of this is
Yeah.
real.
But
Like,
yeah,
well,
I agree.
Miami
Yeah,
GTA
that's
6 that we live in,
Yeah.
none
Yeah,
of this is
South
fucking
Florida
real.
is not a real place.
Not at all.
Anyways, yeah.
Well, the biggest news of the car weekend is going to be
Amelia,
Amelia.
yeah,
So
which is all we have
nuts.
time to cover. But I want to say this because we're going to come back to this. Baller Busters is back.
Baller Busters is back. I love Baller
They
Busters.
told me they never left. They said they actually once
They
they
were
came
gone.
back.
I
No,
looked for
they
them,
came
yeah.
back and then they said they took a break because
No,
the
but
second time
I looked for the account when I saw them
Yeah,
not
yeah, it
posting, and
disappeared.
it wasn't there. Yeah.
Yeah, it disappeared. But I talked to them. They
you can
said they
pause
came
it now.
back.
Yeah.
They said that they were out from a DMCA thing that Ethan and the other guys did, and then now they're like, we went back, then we took a break. They're like, now we're coming back with a vengeance. And I was like,
I did
hope so.
hear that they got caught up in a lawsuit
Yeah.
with the one guy, which they were accusing him of something, but it was a different guy with the same name and a different
Oh,
middle
that I didn't
initial.
hear anything.
I didn't hear that.
And that's I think what resulted in the prolonged period
So
of
I
silence.
guess they will tell us soon enough once
I hope
they're
so.
back
Like,
with their vengeance.
Look, I love the idea.
sex
Like
messages
there,
later.
there is so many bullshitters out there, and unless you identify, if you don't put that scarlet A on them, people are going to believe them, and they're going to get scammed out of it.
and Ethan Duran is finally
out of his car.
Yeah, which he was, just to be clear. The man never made a single payment. The car came back to the dealership. He then spent all the time pretending it was on consignment and he was selling it. He never could afford it, never did afford it. He then got caught up in somehow getting an SF90 out of it by switching his money over to basically hide the fact that he's total world-class fuck-up. And then
Where does that guy get the base money to
stealing it from other people. So we literally did an expose on this, and we have a trace of we have literally voice memos,
paperwork.
trace, paperwork. We just are nice enough not to put it out there because we don't give a fuck.
Oh boy, here we go.
But to be clear, down to the science of take from Peter, give Paul to this, and then reuse and recycle this money because, and we have 10 people that have told us that the only reason I don't want my name associated with this.
They don't wanna
is
be-
I
they're
want to make
embarrassed
sure
by
I
it.
can get paid.
or they're
They're
embarrassed
owed.
by it. Yeah.
They're owed a lot of money, and
I know some fraudsters that got arrested, and the fraud doesn't even show up because some of the guys are so wealthy.
Yeah, they don't
want
want
to
to
admit
be
that
the
they got
idiots that they got front. Yeah,
so
fuck.
they just
Yeah.
let it go.
Well, before we go on that, I like that topic because how often does that happen? How often are people
A
just
lot
so
more than
fucking
people think.
ashamed?
More than you
Dude,
think.
I watched this literally happen when a dealership went down in Boca Raton, and they fought so hard to leave one of the side billionaire owners. That was
Yeah.
part of the thing, and he was like, "I just will pay $600,000 extra
to be out of it.
towards this bankruptcy to make sure that I don't even get mentioned as an owner or part of this, even though I was just a financier owner. I didn't do anything wrong. I just don't want me to be associated with this in the news or anything. So I will pay money. Not only have I lost money, but I'm paying more money to basically not be part of this publicly. It's a fucking disaster.
The question is that for vanity or maybe that guy's doing something illegal? He
I
just
think
doesn't even
both.
want to get caught
I think
up
both,
in it. Yeah.
because usually if you're doing one thing fucked up,
don't
you're
want a
probably doing
spotlight
10
on you.
other
Yeah,
things that are
sure.
fucked up, and you just don't want
Yeah.
people to look into your shit.
correct.
So you're
It's the
leave me-
Madoff thing,
They're
yeah.
like, leave me the fuck alone. I'll pay money and
take the
go
money.
away.
You
And
wonder
there's-
how many times the Madoffs and the Epsteins were looked at, and then they were able to brush it under the
Yeah,
rug.
exactly.
So
That's what I'm saying. They were like, don't look at the other stuff.
correct.
Oh, I got caught for a parking ticket.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to buy $1 million of free equipment for the place.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'll
buy
and
the
I
parking
just
structure.
want this parking ticket to not even exist.
Sure.
It's not that I want to pay.
Yeah, I'm
I
not
just
worried
want
about
it
the
to not
$200.
exist.
I'll give you $1 million to not look at me anymore.
exist. Yeah. So
Well,
it's really bad. So the record of the record.
For those of you that don't know, Million Island up in Florida somewhere really far to get to, pain in the ass drive.
Who
Is it
could have
South Carolina or
predicted?
Florida?
Amelia, Florida.
It is
Yeah,
the tip
Florida.
of Florida.
It's
Yeah.
all the way at.
Who could have predicted this?
Um,
I know a short Persian guy with a really large cock that did every single month for the last fucking 2 years has been saying this day is coming.
Was it
Every fucking month. And
Pejman?
I literally nailed it down to every single month the records are going to be broken down for the last 2 fucking
down to
years.
the cars. Yep.
Down to the cars, down to the year. The only car that surprised me on this that did significantly more money was the TDF.
Dude, the Carrera GT, you said it on Monday and Tuesday.
Yeah.
5 million.
So
That's huge.
I knew that
Big
money was
numbers,
coming. I was like, if it does at least that, all the market will move up. Now they just need one red, yellow, or some normal car that's expensive to basically hit a 5 million, and it's just reset the whole market up now to the $4 million range.
Crazy.
Which is great. And it will happen before August, before Pebble Beach. We had Moda, right?
Yeah.
Everything
Yeah.
got flooded. Like it was fucking disaster.
Was there an auction then or no?
Yeah,
Yeah.
there was an auction.
Arms
There
Sotheby's.
was records there too. The 3.3 million was a record for
Okay.
Courage GT on a silver car. This was
Weren't
like
there a couple Enzos that set a record
Yeah.
recently? Like
Yeah.
17
those were
million,
Metcom
dumb
and
shit.
RM Sotheby. Yeah, Metcom was like 17 million. After that was like I think RM was like 9 million or 10 million.
Now,
or something.
how much of this do you think is like people manipulating the market? Like,
So there's two folds. I don't actually look at these numbers because
Yeah.
some of these numbers are outrageous. I
you don't
look
know who
at
the buyers are.
Well, yeah, so you do. So once you're in that game, you see who's bidding.
Sure.
Based on the bid, that's the number I use. So my calculations are never built on like, oh, it got 6.7 million. I go, maybe people got to 4 million and then 2 people started fighting.
Sure.
So I look at that 4 million number and I go, that's probably a more
That's where
reasonable
it is,
view
yeah.
of the market. And then there is the extreme of the market, right? Like, so that's the numbers I use. I think some of these were overbid. Like, I think the TDF was overbid. Good car.
Yep.
I think the 918 is actually a very good indication of where the market is now. Like
3
3 million. Like, for a normal car, this wasn't a crazy Wysock, like, one of one color. It was just a normal silver fucking car, non-Wysock. 3 million is
Does
where
the Wysock make a difference at that point in time?
significant.
Is it really 3 to 3.5? Yeah.
No, dude. If like put it this way, the last Wysock that went at auction was one of 6 colors. It was 6 million.
Okay.
There were a couple other ones that were probably in the 4s. You know, so if you had the same car, if it's a good color and Wysock, it's very expensive.
It's like
it's
artwork
4.5,
now.
5.
Though. We're
It
taking
is?
these cars are supposed to be cars.
So 2 years ago, I told people, I said, the future is not in like quality museum pieces. It's in individuality, colors,
Uniqueness,
excitement, and being the only one that
PTS,
has
yeah.
something. Yeah. So in the old days, they didn't have that much BTS. In the old days, they didn't have that many.
Yeah,
like
now we have tailor-made
for-
and-
Yeah. So they have 19 Courage GTs that are original PTS.
Okay.
19. So even if you have 500 cars, you have 19 that
Which
are
are
like
special.
super
Less
$6,
than
$7 million
5%.
dollars. That car by the end of 2020, this year and the beginning of next year, the Courage GT will be a $10 million car.
That's wild.
Not for all the cars. I'm saying the high end will be 10. The market will be reset between 5 and 10. And that's basically going to be the norm for all the cars. And they'll basically sit there. And the 918 will also go up to the 5 and just basically stay between 5 and 6.
And once again, it's all Ferraris again.
Well, but this is the normal. Ferrari and Porsche have always been the drivers of, they're like the blue chip in the market.
Correct.
But what we're going to see now, and you're going to see, this is another prediction, you can clock it, always. So we're going to start seeing McLaren hypercars, and we're going to start seeing cars like Bugatti,
long tails.
McLaren, P1, Senna's. Senna's are already moving at alarmingly fast rates. P1s will catch up. We're going to start seeing Lamborghini hypercars, which have been so undervalued all this
Venenos,
time.
yeah.
The Centenario, the Scion, the Countach. They're going to start also adjusting up first for currency, but they will eventually start adjusting up to market. And I am telling you this because the old guys that are bidding on this shit, they're dying. We've said this before.
try
The
not to.
new guys, they're born with Lamborghini. The old guys were only born with Ferrari.
Yep.
Ferrari was the only relevance back then in Porsche. But now, the new guys, they're Lamborghini guys. That's why we saw the huge rise of the LP640. I set the market on the highest E-gear car sold globally recently. So we are going to have this become the norm. LP640s will be $1 million cars, not even gated. And what's going to end up happening is that audience is going to make the Centenario, the Countach, the new Countach, not the old stuff. That's going to make them pop significantly higher because the LP640 and on is the new generation. Everything before that, the Diablo is the only child that's going to have very upside, better than the Countach because it's just a good car. Late model Diablos are just great
kids,
cars.
So the kids from the second marriage.
Yeah, basically. And also remember, a lot of these parents that are dying with fortunes are passing on this money to younger kids, and they're making it count. You know, so it just these are like absolute fucking shattering. We're gonna see. I mean, in fucking Pebble Beach, we're gonna see some numbers like you've
some
never
insanity.
seen before. Yeah, like, and especially the longer these wars carry on, the more it supports this. The further people go from institutions and they buy physical assets.
Yep.
The young people aren't buying gold bars; they're buying fucking cars. They trust in cars. They don't trust in fucking jewelers. You know, so watches will have a record year. So will fucking like all of this shit, and it'll continue to progress. And you're gonna have new players that are. I mean, look. 488 pricing is up 30 grand. Doesn't need to go. 599 pricing, which was the biggest turd for years. Nobody even wanted to touch a car at 100, 120K.
Sure.
Now 190, 200K. 575's up, 550's up. These are cars that aren't supposed to go up in numbers. They're now fucking moving at alarmingly fast rates. Gallardos are up, Huracans are up, Technicas are up. These are mass-produced pieces of shit that have zero long-term collectability on any basis.
Then the new cars are now $400,000, $500,000, $700,000. So that's going to bring up all the
exactly.
used
So
inventory,
it's a currency argument, which is the currency goes up, the cost of something goes up, so everything goes up. That part is there, but these cars are moving significantly faster than that, and that's the larger problem. You know?
And then, I mean, it ties into the access of it also. Before, back in the day, you said the guys.
Well, I've argued that manufacturers just don't have anything new to offer, and it's been a while since they've had good offerings, and they've had a lot of confusion with tech and a lot of confusion with EVs and what are we building? Are we building EV cars? Are we building hybrid cars? I've always said hybrids just replace turbos or create an enhancement. Yeah, it's just a turbo enhancement. It's not really like an electric motor. But this has been the norm in our industry, has been that there has been no new product since COVID that has been groundbreaking.
Exciting,
yeah. Aston Martin is the only company doing exciting designs that are
but they don't sell.
But they don't hold. Yeah, so they make too much of their product. They're overpriced.
Maserati too.
With Maserati's
design, I know, but the design of that, whatever the MC.
Yeah, it was good design.
It was
MC20.
cool.
It was good looking car. Yeah.
But ultimately,
but look at all it was
sucked.
plagued with ton of issues. The tub's cracked and lots of issues with the car.
And they're trying.
Well, but the problem with Maserati is they just don't have the quality. The problem with Aston Martin is they're overpriced, but they have quality. And they have design above a lot, but for the money, you have better alternatives.
I mean, quality-wise, I think like a Maserati Grand Cabrio or something. It's not a terrible car. It's pretty reliable, but you get it for 30 grand for 170.
Well, but that's the point. We're not arguing about the 30 grand depreciating cycle. It's great value once it's depreciated.
But they don't really have a lot of issues.
Yeah, but at 170,
I would run the other way.
That's the point. That's why they depreciate. That's the argument. Like Astons are overpriced. Like 450K cars depreciating like 200K cars.
Once people know that they depreciate, they run away from them.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's
but I think that's going to change. You're going to see it. I think McLaren's are going to hold way better in the next 2 years than they've ever held before.
My question was more so in the access part is more people can drive the cars now because before you couldn't drive it.
Yeah, but also luxury has changed there's a lot more millionaires now. There's a lot more inventory. Huracans are the new poverty, like Boxster. Like that's just what it is. Like it's not like it's a bad thing. Like congrats, you have a Huracan, but it's still the poverty entry
so what is
into
the now?
Well, that's like the McDonald's.
the Happy Meal of cars.
That's McDonald's at that point.
That's what free nuggets.
What's it came in? That's fucking McDonald's level. Like fucking even Huracans are like Applebee level.
Yeah. Yes. I mean, it's wild.
I mean, a pretty interesting show, you know? We talked about cars, but a lot of politics. Do we have anything final to go over?
Just a couple questions here in the chat.
Okay.
We got this question might be silly from Tony RS3. What are your thoughts about the rise in individuals taking on creating their own vehicles utilizing 3D printing technology?
They're gay.
We kind of touched on that last
Yeah, it's you can't, the amount of money that goes into designing a
don't
car.
understand that shit.
You're not making anything in a garage.
You're better off designing and then selling your design to someone else saying, hey, I have something incredible.
Turn this into reality,
exactly.
but trying to do it with off-the-shelf parts, you're going to be.
Yeah. It's like the idiots trying to rebuild a Bugatti now for views.
Yeah,
we've
Matt
seen
Armstrong.
how fucking morons, I swear.
Do you think the market can use more niche-based car manufacturers?
Yes.
Yeah, I think that will be the future. If
That's
all
the
the
future,
major manufacturers are going
future.
towards hybrids and electric, then the
we talked about
Paganis
Singer,
and
Gunter, these companies come out of nowhere. They redesign platforms that are very popular, modernize them, make them prettier.
And there'll be some level of like car manufacturers that make under 2,500 cars a year exempt from whatever. So we'll have we'll have options, but they're going to be expensive.
And people want this individual cars that don't look like what everyone else has. And I think that's. I mean, how many, solitaire programs have they had at Bugatti with like one-off cars? You know, like way more than they had 10 years ago.
You'll get the manufacturers too. Porsche will bless the company, and then they'll get a piece of it, and that.
And they're starting to do that now. Recommissions, like one-of-one cars, bringing back the past with modern components. Like all that shit. So they understand that this is
a blue one.
They understand where they're going. Anyhow, Rob, thank you for joining
No
us.
problem. Thank you for
We have
having
our
me.
next Exotic Car X rally in June, so excited to have more stuff.
June 10th. Excited.
Rob runs all those for us. He's done a great job. So amazing rallies. We have a lot of fun. So hopefully Hunter won't kill himself this time. It's just,
Hopefully he makes it to it.
Hopefully it doesn't blow out his car.
In the middle of Montana.
The only
somewhere.
person that was fucking driving where he's like, I think my TPMS sensors are melted.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm sorry, what? He's like, yeah, it's saying overload on the tires.
That's not good,
I'm like,
Hunter.
what?
Hunter moves though. Like
Dude, he was dangerous.
He has a death wish. But anyways, so we'll catch you guys next time. Thanks again for watching and not canceling us, even with Mark sounds and whatever this is.
It's a wolf.
Yeah, whatever. I don't know what it is. Anyways.